what has been going on with you guys in your company? Do you get more traffic, more clicks, or has they like what are people doing during the day? In my mind, I'm like, hey, they should be just reading our stuff because they ain't got nothing else to do. And then you like ask them to do one like, and they're like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. It's 300 views and one like. Well, you can scroll down and like it. What has been y'all experience?
So Mary and Tia.
I haven't really seen an uptick. It goes both ways. I've gotten a lot more inquiries about like online sales and things like that because people still have to fix their hair. They're wondering how to get products. Really, within the past week, I guess it really has ramped up where people are like, I need you to send me anything, that you possibly can. So I've been getting, more inquiries as far as writings, but as far as like interactions, no. Like I created this bingo. I thought it was so cute. Nobody has filled out the bingo card. I'm like, but everybody's doing everybody else's bingo. Why anybody doing my bingo?
Exactly.
My bingo was the first bingo. Why aren't you doing my bingo? But nobody's doing my bingo, so I don't know.
Dude, what about you on Financially Fit and Fab? That's it, right?
That is it. Yes. So my one way that I get a lot of just attention is through just Google searches. People find my website and find me for speaking engagements or other things. And my website traffic has been down this month. I talked to others that own similar financial businesses. They also notice it's been down lately. It increased the past couple of days, but overall it has been down. So I know people are searching for money tips, but just not our money tips per se. So maybe more so targeted about, managing unemployment or figuring things out, but more specific money tips, not necessarily what is on my site.
I think it's because everybody's expecting the government to give them money, so they're not trying to find other avenues. Whereas somebody like you would be able to offer a lot of insight that we need. Like I've been looking, for financial people and whatnot, because I'm like, I got to figure something out because all these things that I have relied on or all this, hope that our federal government's from trying to give us is not anything that's coming to fruition. I was supposed to have money like a week and a half ago. I haven't even gotten a email to say, hey girl, I got your email. I'll holler back at you in a week. Like
Jessica, she's shaking her head.
Jessica, speak up, honey.
Y'all, I'm gonna go. So my traffic hasn't. Obviously, I don't primarily work on social media, but people have my cell phone number now. So my cell phone rings at all hours of the day. So what you were saying, to make sure that I turn it off. So I have it on Do Not Disturb from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So no calls come through. I've had people call me on weekends about anything at all. So from, I have a broken foot, I need help, to where's my unemployment? Do I qualify? To, I'm a small business. What do I do? So I feel like
death certificates.
What'd you say, B?
Fix them death certificates.
And if Brian texts me one more time about these death certificates, but it is, it's just work is a lot right now. So I finished working today at 8:30, right before I hopped on here. So I'm
So when is Mary going to get her money, Jessica?
Hopefully starting soon this week.
So a good question I have is like, what are y'all about to do with this stimulus money? What are y'all going to do with this?
That's the thing, because that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about, right? Is how are small businesses coping with all this that's going on, and being a small business and also being an S corp. Like my money, and I have a company here in the U.S. and I have a company in South Africa. South Africa shut the government, the country down as of the 26th of March, as in down. You have to stay at your house. You cannot leave your yard. You can't do anything. If you leave your yard, you're getting arrested, or it's absolutely crazy. So whenever they announce that, imagine the letters I was getting from customers being like, I can't pay bills. But wait a minute, you've already sold the goods like 60 days ago. What do you mean you can't pay? But it's because people are like, they don't know when they're going to get money again. So literally all income stopped for me 2 weeks ago. And I don't think people realize like that's a big, huge deal. My bills haven't stopped. I don't care what anybody says about, oh, you're going to get forgiven on this. And someone's, yeah, I mean, yeah, my mortgage was like, all right, girl, you know, if Chase is like, don't even call us, just press 2. Like, hang up. So, I mean, there's a few people that are helping, but for your credit card payments, if you don't make them on time, you're still getting interest on those. You know, your mortgages are being more lenient. People with rent, I mean, I think in New York, there's actually some mandates where things are happening. In Atlanta, they just did something for the housing authority, which is nice. So at least the lower income people have a rent freeze, but bills are still coming. And as far as small businesses are concerned, everything looks all beautiful and rosy, you know, from the outside. It looks like everybody's got all this money, but small businesses operate on a month-to-month budget, and they count on their bills coming in. So when bills don't stop, you know, watching small businesses, we don't realize our bottom line until the end of the year. You know what I mean? Like, you see kind of what's happening. So like right now, everything has stopped. There's nothing. And then the government tells you, oh, you know, fill out this application loan. We're giving you $10,000 in 3 days. I was like, what? I was like, this is great. Like, I can't believe it. I was so happy because I was like, at least now people are going to be like on a level playing field, because I was thinking about people that have been trying to get loans and couldn't get them, things like that. But then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's not happening. The PPP, people that have S Corps or that are freelancers or that are self-employed can't even apply until the 10th. But that was released on Friday. Bank of America has given out however much they've given. But still, I don't know anybody that's gotten any money or that says that their application is being processed. So where these small businesses that are being serviced are obviously the huge small businesses.
Not so business, they're not so small. So
they're also literally the small guys still like, I'm like, can I just get something? Something. Like, I was so excited when they asked for my bank account, my routing number. I was like, I'm about to get some money, honey. Like, they're really going to give me money.
Yeah.
So sometimes when legislation is written, we have the best intentions, right? And the CARES Act that passed said you're going to get funding within 3 days. While Congress has good intentions, it is not feasible for the agency to implement that legislation and those provisions within 3 days because they just simply don't have the capacity. Mm-hmm. I mean, here in Indianapolis or Marion County, actually it's the entire state because it's a state agency, but they're equipped to process 3,000 claims a week. They receive 66,000. So they don't have the capacity to process these sort of things. And at the end of the day, it's people just like me, a public servant, right? Like overworked every single day. They're working on weekends. They're working late nights. Like they've called me at 8 p.m. I got a call 8 p.m. from SBA last night. So we're trying. This is something like we've all seen, right? Like unprecedented. No one's ever dealt with it before.
My thing is like, I appreciate that.
I understand it's frustrating.
Like, no, I get it. I appreciate that. Like, I know everybody's overwhelmed. I can't even imagine. Like, when I talked to somebody from SBA the other day and was like number 700 in line, like the first thing I said was, I know you're overwhelmed. I get it. But I don't think that people being our administration realize the weight of the words and the promises that they give. And whenever people hang on that, because in my mind, if you can give $1 trillion of the stock market at like this, why can't you run me my change? Whenever you got my social security number, you have my bank account, you know I've been paying taxes. It doesn't add up, and it'd be different if you wouldn't have been given promises from the get-go. And this goes from people from the top all the way down, even unemployment and stuff. They're not going to start dispersing that until what they say the 13th. But I mean, people
they don't know how. I'm not trying to defend anybody, but they're waiting on instructions. So we write the legislation, and then the agencies have to interpret those words in the bill and say, this is what we can do, this is what we can't do. So the Department of Labor is trying to decipher what we wrote. I say it like I'm a member, I'm not a member. But what Congress wrote, Department of Labor is trying to decipher and say, this is what you're allowed. So every state has a different unemployment rule, different qualifications. So they have to issue essentially 50 different, well, more than that, 50 plus DC and all of the territories rules. Like this is your guidance. So it's, again, people just like me trying to read this legislation, and it's hard. But what we've been focusing on, at least, is trying to push the message that if we don't get this under this, like the virus, under control, there's gonna be no small business. Like our healthcare system is overwhelmed. In the big cities, as we can see, like Malika was talking about, New York is asleep now. But in the rural communities that aren't prepared to handle this virus at all, they haven't even hit any of the peaks. So we're kind of waiting we have to get the healthcare piece of this under control, or everybody's gonna go out of business, big, small, everybody.
If I can make an observation, I think so in the case of Mary and small businesses, I think of course y'all would be helped out if, individual consumers were able to have the money that is given to them consistently. And I think what's really frustrating about the way this capitalist system is structured is that we get preached all the time about having our 6-month fund. Okay, Suze Orman and her Bob gets on TV and tells us we can't afford anything unless we can pay for it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times over. So then you have these large corporations who are giving their CEOs and their executives trillion-dollar bonuses, but y'all don't have a fund worth 6 months that y'all could pay y'all's employees. So it just seems like the way this country is set up is that the bottom are always disproportionately affected, and then the top just always gets to just slide on by. And I wish, of course, in the case of Jessica, where there was more harmony between bigger business and the government that actually got together in a way that functioned healthily for individuals, both individual consumers and individual businesses. And I would love to say that this is a wake-up call for, how things are structured economically and governmentally. But I mean, we had the Spanish flu back in 1917, and I don't know how much changed then. So we'll see what happens.
So can I speak real quick in regards to Dallas, or I'll say Texas, because as you guys know, we're, or maybe not, in regards to just kind of be a startup hub. We have a ton of small businesses, and we're kind of known now, other than Austin, Dallas is one of the hubs in regards to startup companies. So we have VCs here all the time and so forth. But I will say, being a small business and going through the payroll protection like Mary, being an S Corp as well like Mary, my husband and I, we applied for all the benefits that was given. So I don't care, disaster, whatever, relief, income. I was like, yep, I need that. And whatever. And so just today, and we probably did that last week or the week before, we're just now probably getting an email, and it probably just had a thumbs up. Like, listen, we ain't trying to talk to you. You submitted your information, and that's it. We're going to run you through. And that's, like I said, that's for the payroll, the unemployment, and so forth. Because again, this has really, really been, I guess, untreaded territory for small businesses here locally in Dallas. So to Mary's point, yeah, we typically don't know what we're dealing with until the end of the year as far as profitability and so forth.